Satan capitalized on the basic need of humanity to want to go to heaven. He capitalized so well on it, and he hated humanity so much that he wanted the destruction of humanity. And that was a great idea, to have us kill ourselves and kill each other so we can supposedly go to his paradise, which is hell.
Very few people realize it was the Catholics that started Islam. They started the whole religion purposely to try to get the Holy Land back for the Catholics. They built up the Islam, they funded Muhammad, they trained him, they sent a Catholic nun out of the monastery. They said, we want you to come out of your convent, go find a young promising Muslim, marry him, and train him to raise up an army of Arabs to go take back the Holy Land for the Mother Church. It started to work, but then it failed because Islam got so big, they said, well, forget you Catholics, we're doing what we want. And I don't think most Muslims, which is now, what, 10-20% of the world population, Islam, I don't think most of them know that they really started off as a front for the Catholic Church.
Allah in the Quran, am I correct in this, is actually a deceiver, that he has the attributes of Satan himself?
Well, the 99 names of Allah are very well known in Islam.
Yeah.
Some of these names, if you look at them, one of the names of Allah in the Quran is Al-Mutakabbir, which means the most proud one. When I read the Bible as a Muslim, and I saw the most proud one in the Bible was Satan, or Al-Mumit, the one who causes death. And that's the problems where Muslims cannot see the truth from the Bible.
But the one that they say is Allah is the most proud one?
The most, we say Al-Mutakabbir,
yeah.
It's the Al, like the Elohim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Al is the most proud one, so the most proud one is Allah.
But that's really Satan.
Exactly. And it's worse than that, because he's the one who causes death, Al-Mumit,
Yeah.
Al-Makir, the great deceiver.
Yes.
This is the names of Allah in the Quran. In the Quran it says وَيَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. Allah is the greatest of all deceivers. So it is okay, that's why Islam has deception and war. That's why Islam offers hudna, or a peace treaty, to non-Muslims up to 10 years, but they must break the peace treaty somewhere. So a hudna is a treaty, it's actually not a peace treaty, it's a ceasefire. In Islam we're allowed to have a ceasefire for two reasons. Reason number one, to gain concessions.
Yes.
Reason number two, to deceive the enemy and destroy them in the end.
Ask the Muslims, how do you know how do you know Muhammad was a prophet? They'll say, well, he had a mole on his back. Holy moly. That's how you know he's a prophet, because he's got a mole on his back. I've got a mole on my back. Got one right here on my cheek. Man, I must be a double prophet. In one of the Muslim verses says, Muhammad asks the question, when I am dead and buried in the ground and go back to dust, is that all? What will happen to me? Muhammad himself had no clue if he was going to heaven. This verse in the Quran says, when he reached the setting of the sun, he found it set in a pond of murky water. Would that be scientifically accurate to say the sun sets in a pond of murky water? No. I would say the earth turns around and the sun, appears to go around the earth. This is not scientifically accurate. The Quran has loads of scientific errors. It's not a holy book. Allah commands any person who leaves Islam or encourages others to do so should be seized and slain. There are over 100 commands in the Quran to kill people who won't convert. Anybody that won't convert has to be killed. Islam is a religion where God requires you to send your son to die for him. The Bible is where God sent his son to die for you. Exactly the opposite, okay? If you study the history of Jerusalem and the problems with Islam, it's phenomenal. Keep in mind, they both come from the two sons of Abraham. Abraham, if he wouldn't have gone down into Egypt and got that Egyptian girl and had that one baby Ishmael, we wouldn't have this whole problem, because all the Arabs come from Ishmael. The last hour will not come before the Muslims fight the Jews and the Muslims kill them. That's their plan. The purest joy in Islam is to kill and be killed for Allah. After killing tens of thousands of non-Muslims in Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini said, "In Persia, no people have been killed so far, only beasts." Because he thought they're not Muslims, so they're not really people. Allah created Adam, making him 60 cubits tall, according to Baqarah, volume 4. That's 90 foot tall. I mean, you believe that? Adam was 90 feet tall? In the 3rd surah, verse 105, it says, "In the great and final redemption, only white faces shall be saved, all black faces will be condemned." In other words, you got to be white to go to heaven, to the Muslim heaven. In volume 1, it says, Abu reported, "When any of you wakes from sleep, he performs ablution. He must clean his nose 3 times. For the devil spends the night in the interior of the nose." Good Muslims will get up in the morning, suck water into their nose, and blow it back out 3 times. That's got to hurt. Why? Well, because the devil lives in your nose. While you're sleeping, the devil crawls in. That's what they teach.
Basically, Satan plagiarizes the Spirit. To recruit, to entice, to seduce, it plagiarizes the Spirit, the Creator. A lot of these religions were designed, their very purpose, thinking this many moves ahead, designed to fail. How? Why? Well, if they steal the teachings of Christ, then point their fingers at themselves like they always do, expose the Babylonian symbolism, the satanic symbolism of the religions they created, they could do that in hopes to make you abandon all Christ's teachings as well, do you see? If you don't know that they stole those teachings, then you'll think that they created those teachings. They expose the deity as symbolism, and then everybody will have their big sigh of relief. Oh, we don't have to be good. We don't have to follow any of that. You see, the ultimate last-ditch attempt to discredit Christ. Why? That opens the door for the New World religion of sorcery, or Satanism, for the utopia. It has to be that because there's no way these people doing what they're doing could have given the metaphors that Christ gave. They stole his teachings to draw people into both Christianity and Satanism. Then they're going to point the finger at the symbolism of Christianity and other religions so that people release all of the teachings of Christ, thinking it was a fraud, for the final entrapment. The primary foundation of what you are is love, and that's what they don't want you to know. And the easiest way to do that is to come in the name of love and slowly tear you away from it, redefine it, to ensnare you in the web.
You want to stop Islam, what would you do?
We have to understand, this Islamic movement is a cancer.
Yes.
It is a cancer not only that will destroy itself, but it will also destroy us in the process. We must isolate the cancer and have it destroy itself. We have to get out of oil, because that's the only reason why we're so much involved in the Middle East, because of the oil interest. If we get out of oil, because oil is the wine that is causing the intoxication of the nations, and we're selling out of Israel, we're selling out